Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, I recently got my ears pierced. As you can see, I have three piercings. So, this is the latest one. So, I thought why not share my experience with you guys so that you get to know what exactly the piercing is all about. After piercing, what happens, what care you needs to take, and you get to learn a lot and choose the one which is suitable for you. So let me start with the basic first. So piercing can be done, especially the ear one, with two methods. So the first one is using piercing gun, and second one is using needle. So first one where I said gun, so it's a piercing gun. It resembles a gun, and your ear is kept in between, and there is this usually this stud kind of a thing they put in the gun, and they just press it and it's done. It's as quick as it sounds. And second is using needle, as most of you might be already knowing, or most of you who have got the first basic ear hole which was done when we were a baby, so you guys know how this is done. So they just pierce a needle through your ear, and that is how the hole is made. So now that I have experienced both, now I'm going to share the experiences separately. So the stud, as you can see, this is the first piercing I got, and this was done using gun. So for the first piercing, I was just excited, and I had not done any background check or any background study about piercing, what care needs to be taken, which is the better one, which is not, blah blah blah. I didn't do it. I just heard from one of my friends that it's very quick and it's pain free. So I just went there. I just told him that I need to get my ears pierced using piercing gun, and he did that. And for that, he gave me this studs as well. So that is included in the whole price. The first piercing costed me around 400 rupees for both ears, and yeah, so that was it. So when he did the piercing, it was not at all painful. It was very quick. I didn't feel anything. So I was quite impressed by that piercing experience. So second piercing, this is the latest one. So that is done using needle, where I said a needle was pierced through my ears, and that is how this hole is made. And so this costed me around 1200, that is 600 per year. I know it's expensive, but later I'll tell you why it is expensive. So that is how I got these two piercings with two different methods. And secondly, when you want to get your ears pierced, there are different kinds of ear piercing, as you know. Including these lobe and everything can be pierced. But let me tell you one basic tip. If you touch your ear, there is this soft skin and slightly hard skin. So as you might already guessed, if it is soft enough, the piercing is quite easy and it heals really fast. But if it is a bit harder, then the piercing is going to pain slightly more. So I chose to pierce the softer skin to be on a safer side. And let me tell you the pros and cons of those two methods which I went through. So firstly, the piercing gun one. So it's quite, as I said, it's quite quick, pain free. And whereas the needle one, it takes time, and it kind of, you can feel the pain, but it's bearable. But yeah, you can feel the pain. And cons, as in I felt it, it's my own personal experience. So for the gun one, I had to go through a lot of pain, but touch wood, for the needle one, I really didn't go through any pain even post after the piercing was done. And first and the foremost thing you need to make sure when you go through this piercing process is hygiene, which I missed during my first piercing, because as I said, I was very excited to get my ears pierced, but in between that excitement I forgot to notice that the piercing gun was not really sterilized. So maybe that was the thing because of which I had to go through a lot, which I'll explain in the later points. So the point two is the hygiene, which you need to take care. So, but whereas in my second piercing, which I got it done using needles, in that, even though it costed me way more than the first one, there the one who did my piercing, he wore a fresh pair of gloves, and he sterilized the ornament which he was about to put, and he was using fresh pair of needles. And before and after doing the piercing, he had used a sterilizing solution on my ears and on my wound to just make it bacteria free, or just to make sure that there is no infection or nothing skin issues sort of a thing is happening. So he made sure that, so because of that hygiene which he maintained, I didn't even did any sort of bargaining as well. So I was more than happy to give him 1,200 rupees for that. And somewhere it was totally worth it, trust me, because after that piercing I didn't feel any sort of a pain or any kind of infection or nothing. And next point, third point is the ornament. So for my on this thing piercing, or any piercing for that matter, so the one who does the piercing, or the studio where you go for the piercing, usually they give you the ornaments. So you need to choose one among them, and make sure the studio where you go for the piercing, they have ample amount of choices to make from. So for the first piercing, he had given me a stud. This is not the one, I had removed it already. But this is the recent piercing, and I haven't removed the ornament which the guy has given me. So this is kind of the half ring, you can see. See, this is the half ring kind of a thing. So this is the round thing which you can see. This is where I need to screw it up to open it. So this is normal stud. Um, this is similar stud he had given me, normal, which we use, the press one. So yeah, those were the ornaments which I had chosen from. And make sure you I mean, if I need to talk more about the ornament, so these studs are very easy to put and remove, but these the half rings are more easier, because see, it takes around 1 month to heal properly. And if you are sleeping on your side like this, and if you sleep on the fresh wound, it's gonna hurt, right? And if it is a stud, because of this stud, so you, it is going to pinch or poke you, and it's gonna pain a lot. Only con I can think about these half circle is that if you have long hair like me, there is good chance that they get stuck with this while you tie your hair up. It's going to pain a bit, because it's ultimately you wound at the end of the day. Um, the ornament which you put up during the piercing process, so that is, you need to keep that ornament for at least a month, because that is the minimum amount, minimum time someone takes to get healed completely from a piercing wound. So 1 month you're not supposed to remove these ornaments. So the reason being here is, these wounds are fresh, and they can recover really quick. Even if you don't believe it, trust me, if you remove this ornament for a night or so, by the time you wake up in the morning, there's high chance that these wounds just cover up, so there is no hole at all, so you need to go to the studio and get your ears pierced yet again. So this is like back to square one. So that is why we are not supposed to remove these ornaments for a month unless and until it's healed totally. So that is why you need to choose your ornament wisely, because it's going to last for a month at least. So the fourth point here is the post piercing care. So the post piercing care is quite simple. So you need to wash your new pierced area with warm salt water twice a day at least. So this will make sure that there is no bacterial infection kind of a thing happening there. So it will kill the bacteria even if it is there. So that is why you need to wash it with warm salt water at least twice a day. So once you are done with it, I have a bonus tip for you. You need to wipe it out with a tissue, because if you leave it like that, because of the salt accumulation, there is a good chance that it's going to leave a dark mark. As you can see with this piercing, I don't know if it is visible in the camera or not, but it has left a black mark for me. So you make sure that you wipe it with tissue so that there is no moisture or the salt content left. Once you're done with washing and wiping, you need to apply coconut oil preferably, which gives moisture to the wound, and it will fasten the healing process. So that is why you need to apply coconut oil. So next point to consider here is you need to move your ornaments at regular interval of time. But I need to tell you one thing: while it's dry, don't do it, because the main reason to move your ornament is because there is high chance that it can stuck there, and it's going to be a painful process for you if it gets stuck with a wound. So that is why you need to keep moving this ornament. And especially when the wound is fresh, make sure you have applied oil while you move this, because else there is good chance that it's already stuck for a while and you just try to move it, it's gonna hurt a lot. So just apply some oil and then try to move it, so that will be like easier for you. Let me tell you the real facts now, more realistic facts. So when you apply oil, so it's going to be sticky. I mean, it's going to be, because of the oil, especially when when you're worn stud like this, there's good chance that it's going to be loose. You're applying oil, you are moving that ornament, so there is good chance the press kind of a stud which you are using, so it's going to be kind of loose. And while combing or while changing your clothes, there is good chance that it gets stuck with your clothes or with your hair, and it can be pulled out very easily. And don't get disheartened, just try to gather all the courage and put that ornament back right away, because as I said, it will heal really quickly, and putting that ornament later is going to pain even more. So even though it pains, even after, even if you are very quick to put it back, it's gonna hurt, but it's gonna hurt a lot if you wait for more time. So yeah, the stud, that is the biggest con. It gets loose and tend to fall off, and putting it back is a big painful task. But with these kind of rings, it's easier. It just stuck with your hair, but it doesn't fall off or get loose or something, so that is quite manageable. Real talk is, it hurts, especially when you try to fall asleep on it. It's gonna hurt. When it gets stuck with your hair, it hurts. When it gets stuck with your clothes, it hurts. If you are riding a bike and you are putting your helmet on, if it gets pressed, it's gonna hurt. So at least for first 2 weeks, it's gonna be painful. But after that, once it starts healing, and it's very nice. so it's not a painful task at all, and plus you get to flaunt a lot many ornaments and you're gonna just love the vibe. And one more thing, um, post piercing, you need to take a good care of it. If you skip those processes, there is good chance that you'll get infected, and you'll have to go through a lot. Because me being a lazy, I had skipped washing these, I mean this piercing for some time. I don't know, a day or two maybe. I was really busy and I couldn't do it, and because of that I guess I had developed this crazy infection. And also maybe I was allergic to that metal, which I mean metal of that ornament. So yeah, even make sure that you're not allergic to some kind of metals. If you are, just make sure you're getting a good ornament which suits you. So yeah, because of those two factors I had developed infection on this, and I had to immediately stop applying oil and stuff because I didn't want to add more moisture and uh, just increase the infection. So I had to apply the antibacterial powder and stuff, but it was healed because of thanks to that powder which I was applying. So yeah, so the post piercing care is a must. So these are the pretty much things I wanted to share with you guys. So firstly, make sure where you want to get pierced, and secondly, make sure you're going to a renowned studio, even though if it is expensive, but make sure they are maintaining good hygiene. So because that is the key point. Thirdly, choose your ornament wisely because you are going to wear it for one whole month. And post piercing care is a must, must, must. Don't skip it, because if you skip it, you might get infected. And also, while choosing the ornament, make sure that metal is not going to create any mess in your body part, because if you are allergic to that metal, there's good chance that you'll get infected. So yeah, those are the points. Even though it hurts for some time, but post 1 month, trust me, this is going to be the best thing. Because see, I love ornaments and accessories, and these were like my dreams to get my ears pierced. So yeah, now I'm loving this vibes, shopping these ornaments and mixing and matching those things. It's a very girly thing, and if you love accessories, you relate to what I'm talking about. So yeah, if you want to get pierced, go ahead and get your ears pierced and flaunt it. You're gonna love it. I hope this video is useful for you. If you have piercing in your mind, I'm pretty sure this video has helped you a bit. And thank you for watching. And if you like this video and you know someone who is interested in piercing, so do share with them, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Thank you.